No, I don't think it should be mandatory. I wouldn't demand to be mandatory. It's about protecting yourself and those around you. We've been patient, but our patience is wearing thin.
Reactance can occur when somebody is heavily pressured to accept a certain view or attitude. Because the reality of life and what these people don't understand is that if somebody has to force you to do something, it's most likely not a good thing. Because if it was a good thing, they wouldn't have to force you. Welcome back to another edition of Heavy Duty Country. Like always, if you love America, this is the channel for you. If you don't, go join this guy that says screw your freedom.
When are we going to stop putting up with the idiots in this country and just say it's mandatory to get vaccinated? Fuck them, fuck their freedom.
Man, I gotta say, it's been a busy week for Sleepy Joe. Not a whole lot of sleeping going on, which is surprising. Anyways, he went to go visit a spot on 9/11, and this is the reaction he got from the people there.
You're a mud for what you did to Afghanistan. Terrible, terrible. Don't sniff him.
I love the guy who's like, don't sniff him, Joe. I mean, it's an honest request. Don't sniff the kid if you can. And then he goes on to more of a serious note.
This is not about freedom or personal choice. It's about protecting yourself and those around you. We've been patient, but our patience is wearing thin.
Oh, good. Your patience is wearing thin. You know, Joe, maybe you do have some balls. You're telling us that your patience is wearing thin? Look at what just happened in Afghanistan. How long did it take you to evacuate all the Americans there, and it's still not done? And you're talking about patience? Who does Sleepy Joe think he is? Oh no, and we're not done. Then he says this.
No, I don't think it should be mandatory. I wouldn't demand to be mandatory. I'm announcing that the Department of Labor is developing an emergency rule to require all employers with 100 or more employees that together employ over 80 million workers to ensure their workforces are fully vaccinated.
Okay, so it's not about freedom. It's about protecting yourself and others. Okay, which one is it? Is it about protecting ourselves and others, or is it about freedom? Because they're not the same. Look up the definition of protection and freedom in the dictionary there, Joe. Very different meanings. I know you're trying to be a dictator, but you just don't fit the part. I mean, for God's sakes, look at how he talks to the American people. Come on, guys. We just gotta do this for, everybody's sake. I mean, if you want to be a dictator, at least have some bravado in your voice. If you haven't noticed, Americans are probably the most stubborn people on the planet. We are set in our ways. Both sides. Every group of people you can imagine. And now you want to require employers with more than 100 people to make everybody get this shot? I mean, you got sucky. Speaking up there for you again.
Department of Labor or anybody else compel major employers, the large employers, to force the vaccine mandates on their employees.
Yes.
She tells the American people more than Joe does. But let me get on to my point on all of this. Because, believe it or not, this administration is very dumb. And it's for one reason. And it has to do a lot with psychology. Don't y'all have some people who went to college? Don't y'all have some people who've studied psychology? Don't you have some people who understand intelligence and how the human mind works? Because your tactics as far as how you're trying to enforce all of this says that y'all don't know squat about any of it. So let me help you. Let me ask everyone watching this really quick. When someone tells you that you can't do something or tells you that you have to do something, what is your first thought in your head? I'll tell you what mine was when I was a kid and what it was now. When I was a kid, it was screw you, now I'm just gonna do it or not do it just to piss you off. You're not gonna tell me what to do. My parents had a field day with me on that aspect. Bless their souls, because God knows I put them through hell. But now, what I would say is, I'm an intelligent person, and I'm pretty analytical. So I'm gonna take what you said, and I'm gonna look at it, and most likely, I'm still going to do the opposite. Because the reality of life, and what these people don't understand, is that if somebody has to force you to do something, it's most likely not a good thing. Because if it was a good thing, they wouldn't have to force you. There is actually a term in psychology for this mindset, and it's called the reactance theory. The fact that Sleepy Joe and his whole administration doesn't understand this and doesn't at least try to change their tactics is absolutely nuts. But y'all are trying to run a dictatorship, but you don't have the guy in there that has the balls to run a dictatorship. He'd rather be a simp, be like, yeah, guys, we've got to do this. Reactance can occur when somebody is heavily pressured to accept a certain view or attitude. Reactance can cause the person to adopt or strengthen a view or attitude that is contrary to what was intended, and also increases resistance to persuasion. Do y'all think the right side of America are just a bunch of betas? No, that's the left. You can do this to the left because they take it and they say, oh, okay, yeah, yes, sir, oh, we'll do whatever you want. But for us, this reactance theory is very, very alive. COVID. So what Sleepy Joe and his whole administration needs to do is, one, probably watch this video, because y'all need to learn about the reactance theory because it is very real. And secondly, y'all need to hire some people that understand psychology, that understand tactics, that understand how two sets of the human mind works. One that's beta and one that's alpha. But keep trying, guys. It's not a good effort at all, but hey, all you can do is try.